Hello, everybody, and welcome back into another edition of the NBC Hoop Shootaround. This time we look ahead to the schedule, and with a number of games, the schedule's heating up for a number of teams, and we visit once again with our NBC Hoops analyst, Adam Emmenecker. Adam, how's it going today?
Things are going very, very well. Derek, yourself?
I'm doing good. Looking forward to some competitive basketball as the schedule's
Yeah.
heating up for a number of teams. Let's start with Evansville. They've got quite a loaded schedule coming up here in the next couple games. Hopefully, that offense that they've shown in the previous games helps them get ready for the likes of Indiana and Murray State coming up here.
Yeah, without question, Evansville's a team that's played well to this point, sitting undefeated, and having the interstate rivalry matchup coming up with Indiana here. Indiana's at 5-1. They're a team with a little better athletes than Evansville's seen thus far. So you mentioned the offensive efficiency and DJ Ballentine. Let's see if they can continue to do that against maybe a little bit tougher Indiana team, a team that's going to try to take away what Evansville's bread and butter has been to this point, and that's getting the ball to DJ Ballentine. Following that up on Saturday, they have a matchup with the Ohio Bobcats. I think a lot of our viewers will remember Ohio from a couple of years back when John Groh was there. John Groh, of course, now at Illinois, but had really, really good guard play. They have athletic people, and they're led by Nick Kellogg, the son of Clark Kellogg, a national pundit for a lot of TV games. They're a tough and a gritty team. It'll be a good test for Evansville as well. And then you have another team with a storied past, a team we've heard a lot about in the last couple of years, and that's Murray State. So can they continue to do the things that they've done in the early season? Can they continue to score 90 points a game? That's a lot to live up to, but it'll be great early test for the Purple Aces.
Absolutely. Now, couple looking ahead to another team, Wichita State. The schedule really turns up for them too as
Yeah.
well. The
Yeah.
Shockers will hopefully try to maintain their top 25 standing here in the polls. Couple of good games coming up against DePaul, potentially Texas, BYU, and St.
Yep.
Louis University.
Yeah, and you get a little bit more name shock when you're looking at those schools. So DePaul, a team that historically has been in the Big East and can retract that big time type of player. But I think Wichita matches up pretty well because Wichita has the size and athleticism that you see in a lot of those higher major conferences if you're considering the Valley mid-major. Then you look at Texas and BYU, both programs that have done pretty well in the past couple of years. And whichever team that is, it's going to be a very different matchup for Wichita State. So Texas is going to be a little bit more athletic. They're going to be a little bit more perimeter oriented. BYU more solid and fundamental. So either way, I think that'll be a good test because those are both pretty good teams. Then you look at St. Louis. St. Louis is a team that I'm trying to remember back now. I don't remember. They were a higher seed in the NCAA tournament last year. So it's a team with a lot of good players, a lot of talent. But for Wichita, I think we'll see more of what we've seen in the first few games. So even though I expect Clay Anthony Early and Ron Baker to really step up and be the major proponents in those games, I think their attack is going to continue to be balanced. Coach Greg Marshall is going to keep preaching teamwork, teamwork, teamwork. That's what was so successful for him last year.
Another team that struggled last year in the non-conference was Missouri State Bears. Um, really a different type of team this year where they've been
Yeah.
able to get going early and maintain it.
Yep.
Undefeated so far this year. But wow, we look ahead at the schedule, and of course we can do that as we analyze things looking
Sure.
ahead. But you look at that December 17th match against Louisville. I mean, what do you think about that one?
Yeah, anytime you're playing against the defending national champions, that's going to kind of get a rise out of your guys. And you're right, Derek. I know if you're talking to the Missouri State staff or any of the players and you ask about this game pending December 17th, they're going to say, whoa, 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 we got plenty of other games to worry about
Sure.
first. That's one of the advantages to being in our position. But, I think before that, even they have a game against Texas A&M, who's undefeated at this point as well. So you get a good match against Texas A&M, see how you fare against them, and then you get to test yourself against the best in the country, the defending national champion Louisville Cardinal, who I believe are ranked number 3 right now. So it'll be a great test for Missouri State.
And finally, as we wrap up here, your alma mater,
Yeah.
Richard Carter, started out pretty well for the Drake Bulldogs, and those guys have really been playing a different type of game with a new coach.
Yep.
Obviously, it's a different
Yep.
system.
Yep.
What do you think? What's been the excitement in Des Moines?
I think Drake being picked 10th in the conference this year, almost a unanimous pick at 10th, they're surprising people a little bit right now. They played a tough game at St. Mary's where they only lost by a couple of points. That was a 1 or 2 possession game. They beat a Nebraska Omaha team that actually was pretty tough. So I think looking forward on their schedule, one of their real tests, they're on a West Coast road trip for the next 3 games. But when you come back December 7th, they're playing against Iowa. Maybe it's December 9th, one of those 2 dates, coming back playing against Iowa. You get a Big Ten opponent. So it'll be interesting to see how they stack up, if they're really expected to be at the bottom of the league and they can play well against a team that's picked in the middle toward the upper half of the Big Ten, then that bodes really well for the conference.
Absolutely. Adam, as always, thank you very much for your insight. We look forward to talking to you again soon.
Awesome. Thanks, Derek.